All right, guys, so today we have a crazy story about a tragic incident that happened at Travis Scott's concert Astroworld in Houston, Texas. Now, if you guys don't know who Travis Scott is, he is a rapper. He's very famous. He's also, I guess, the baby daddy or the boyfriend or whoever of Kylie Jenner, right? I don't know exactly what their status is because I don't really keep up with the celebrity stuff like that. But that's just generally who he is for you guys who don't know. Now, again, there was a tragic incident that happened at his concert where people got trampled and all types of other crazy stuff happened too that we're going to get into. But the whole point of this video, guys, I want to tell you up front is that this is a cautionary tale of what I like to call hero worship, being too obsessed with human beings. In my opinion, the only thing, right, or entity that you should be obsessed with is God, right? That's just my opinion. But I do acknowledge that there can be some issues with being obsessed with God as well, particularly if you are a religious extremist or you feel the need to harm fellow human beings in the name of God. I'm just saying, I acknowledge that there can be some issues with that too. I'm just saying, I don't think human beings should practically be worshiping each other, right? I think that the only thing that we should worship, maybe that's a better term for it, not obsession, maybe worship is a better term. The only thing we should worship is God if we're going to worship anything. And that's, if you happen to be religious and believe in all that stuff. And if you don't, that's fine too, right? I understand. I respect everybody's beliefs, okay? But when we are obsessed with other human beings, I think that it leads to situations like this that unfortunately lead to the loss of life. And I think we should be careful not to ever be obsessed with other humans to the point of having something like this happen, because it kind of sounds like that's kind of what caused this. So without further ado, I'm actually going to let the news explain to you guys what's going on here, because there's a lot of confusing details, and I want to make sure you guys have a strong grasp of the current information we have in regards to what happened. Take a look.
This morning, a criminal investigation is underway as we learn more about the lives lost during the pandemonium at this Texas music festival. It left 8 people dead, the youngest victim just 14 years old. Overnight, one victim identified as Brianna Rodriguez, a 16-year-old high school junior, and 21-year-old Franco Patino, an engineering student at the University of Dayton. Approximately 50,000 people attending global superstar Travis Scott's sold-out festival in Houston when authorities say the crowd began surging the stage. One fan seen here being lifted off the ground and carried out. 300 people had to be treated, fans reporting having to gasp for air, crushed in the crowd.
I could feel myself like if I was drowning underwater, like I was gasping for air and I couldn't get it, and I was screaming like I've never screamed before, and nobody could hear me.
Her husband laying on top of her, shielding her from the onslaught of people.
It was very hard and scary, but I just laid on her to make sure nobody stepped on her head or her face.
All right, guys, so that's generally what happened, right? There was about 50,000 or so fans packed into, I guess, this concert area. The dude comes out on stage, and apparently everybody starts rushing to the front, and people start getting crushed, right? Crushed. Okay. Now, I actually want to play some more footage here, in which, there's a firsthand account of what happened and how some of the fans tried to basically stop the concert in the middle of this.
First, I want to say we only know what first responders have confirmed. I don't want to downplay what happened, but I do want to add a little context as someone who was there. I think most people like myself had no idea people were in trouble, but it is clear from videos shared on social media, some of the crowd did and tried to help. Texas A&M student Sienna is seen in multiple videos crawling onto a production platform, yelling at the crew about what she's seen in the crowd. In another video, the crowd appears to chant, "Stop the show." Scott did pause his performance, which was being streamed on Apple Music.
Somebody passed out right here. Hold on, don't touch him, don't touch him. Everybody just back up.
To point out someone who needed help.
Security, somebody help, jump in real quick, keep going.
The show went on, even as first responders drove into the crowd. At that point, social media documented people climbing on those vehicles. There are more videos out there showing people lying on the ground, some getting CPR, unconscious people being crowd surfed. We are not showing those because we either can't confirm their legitimacy or because they are too graphic.
All right, guys. So Travis Scott is actually being criticized for what a lot of people are saying is that he wasn't doing enough when he realized that the ambulance is literally trying to get through the crowd to go save people, right? He seemed to not react quickly enough to stop the chaos and the madness. So he's getting criticized for that, but he's saying that he didn't know, right? That he was unaware. Now, the reason why this is a criminal investigation is because this is where it kind of gets really weird. There were about 17 to 20-ish people taken to a hospital, and 11 of them went into cardiac arrest. And there's also reports of somebody that was involved with security actually getting drugged.
This has not happened to us ever in Houston since I've been a police officer, and we take pride of it. And we're going to get down to the bottom. A lot of narratives out there right now, a lot of them on social media, and even last night. I think that all of us need to be respectful of the families and make sure that we follow the facts and the evidence. And that's what we're trying to do here in the Houston Police Department. I will tell you, one of the narratives was that some individual was injecting other people with drugs. We do have a report of a security officer, according to the medical staff that was out and treated him last night, that he was reaching over to restrain or grab a citizen, and he felt a prick in his neck. When he was examined, he went unconscious. They administered Narcan. He was revived, and the medical staff did notice a prick that was similar to a prick that you would get if somebody's trying to inject. That is one part of it. The other thing that's very important, there were some individuals that were trampled, and we want to be respectful of that. But we just ask that y'all give us time to do a proper investigation. Live Nation has stated from the very beginning that they would cooperate. They're going to give us the video sometime this evening. I spoke to my commander in homicide. So we're waiting to get that. That's going to help us. But I also want to call out to the community, kids and young individuals that was out there. If you see something, say something. This is now a criminal investigation that's going to involve our homicide division as well as narcotics. And we're going to get down to the bottom of it.
All right, guys. So now that we got through all that, yeah, it is tragic when this happens. I mean, imagine, you're a kid, right? You got people out there as young as what? I think I read 10 years old at a concert like this where people are, doing drugs, apparently, right? I don't imagine that that's a part of it. They're drunk. They're going crazy at this concert, and then you have a tragic incident like this happens where you have young people losing their lives simply for going to a concert, right? You're just going out at night thinking that you can have fun, listen to some music, and something like this happens. So obviously it is a tragic incident. And again, I think that this story though just feels so weird to me, right? It just feels like something's not right. I do believe the narrative that people were trampled. I could see how that could be possible, right? If you have the weight of 50,000 plus people all trying to get as close as they can to a man, right? Going crazy again, which is why I say hero worship of humans is dangerous. Yeah, I can see how the weight of all those people against you could cause something like that, right? It can cause people to get trampled. But I also find it interesting how 11 people went into cardiac arrest, and I'm like, well, how does that happen, right? Were they just shocked? Maybe that's what it was. Maybe they were shocked in terms of what happened, and that's what led to that, right? So I just got a whole lot more questions than answers here. So it's not really much I can say because there's just so much speculation involved, right? But I just find it strange, the whole incident about cardiac arrest and then the drugging, right? You have an individual sticking needles in a security guard's neck, right? Like, how weird is that? How strange is that? Again, I know that there's always drugs involved in these type of concerts and things like that, but it's like, you got people out there just actually like trying to kill people, right? Just flat out trying to kill people at a concert with drugs. Again, this is insane, and it just makes me think, like, is there more to this? Is there something else going on here that we're either not being told about or that we just haven't found out yet, right? So, again, there's only so much I can really say about this, except, again, this is a prime example of why you should not be obsessed with other people, right? This is the type of stuff that happens. I mean, you have people go crazy, right? So crazy that you trample people to see a man on stage. Again, no disrespect to Travis Scott. I mean, he's a talented guy. I don't know if I'm necessarily a big fan of his music per se. I like some of his songs, but I would not go crazy like that just because I see him around, right? Matter of fact, anytime I see a celebrity, I try not to go crazy, right? I actually, if you guys don't know, I actually was at Michael Jordan's Christmas party a few years back, and seeing somebody like him, right, the most famous basketball player ever, right? Yeah, it is like an aura, right? It does feel weird being in that environment, okay? But I also made it a point to press down those feelings, right? To not make it seem like, I'm staring at the guy because, one, it would be weird to get caught staring at him, but, not to be obsessed with the guy, right? I mean, I wanted to get his autograph. I wanted to go up to him and shake his hand. However, I was just like, no, right? So I try to not to do that, right? I try not to do it because one, I don't like blowing up people's egos, right? He's a man just like I'm a man. And two, like I just think that having that much obsession over somebody, I think it's just it's weird to me, and I think it's dangerous, right? And I don't like being starstruck, right? I don't like being starstruck, but hey, some people do. But regardless, this is a tragic incident. And stuff like this should actually never happen, right? You should not be packing people so tightly into an arena that something like this happens, right? I think that there probably may have been some protocols here that weren't followed correctly in regards to the amount of people that were letting into one space like that. But regardless, again, I do find this incident to be quite strange. But let me know what you guys think. If you have any theories or anything like that, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.